Hey there, and welcome. So, you've got a job interview coming up? In English? Well, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to get you all the tools you need to walk into that interview feeling totally prepared and super confident. Welcome back to the GIST English Masterclass. It's so great to have you back with me as we keep this learning journey going together. Okay, let's be real. Job interviews in English, they can be a little scary, right? It's totally normal to be worried about, finding the right words and making a good impression. But hey, don't you worry. Today, we're going to learn exactly how to answer those questions with confidence. Seriously, you can do this. Okay, so let's dive right into what I call the secret to a great interview answer. Believe it or not, there's actually a super simple formula for this stuff. And once you get it, everything becomes so much easier. And here it is. It's just 3 steps: point, example, and result. Think of it like this. Step 1, you make your point. Real clear, like, I'm a very organized person. Then, step 2, you give a specific example. For instance, for a recent school project, I was the one who created and managed the schedule for everyone. And finally, step 3, you explain the positive result. Because of that, we finished the project ahead of schedule. See how that works? It's simple, but it is so powerful. All right, now that we have the formula, let's practice with the basics. We're going to tackle some of the most common questions you'll hear.
This is usually the very first question they ask, and really, it's your big chance to set the tone and make a great first impression. So, how do you answer it?
Okay, look at the difference here. The weak answer is, well, it's too personal. Music, football. That's not what they're looking for. But the better answer? It jumps right into professional stuff. Skills, motivation. That's what shows them you're serious about the job. So what makes it work? Well, for one, it sounds professional right away. It focuses on your skills and goals, and it really does give a positive first impression. It's exactly what they want to hear. Okay, next up, a classic question. What are your strengths? This is where you can really sell yourself. But the secret is you've got to be specific. Just saying, I am nice and hardworking, it's okay, but it doesn't really prove anything. A much better answer names a real strength, like reliability. And then, this is the most important part, it gives a real example, like that one about learning a new digital tool for a project. That's what makes it believable. And that's why it works. It names real strengths, sure, but the example is everything. It just sounds so much more believable. You're not just telling them you're reliable, you're showing them. All right, now for the tricky questions. These are the ones that can make you nervous. But here's a little secret. They're not a trap. They're actually a chance to turn a challenge into an opportunity. Let me show you. And here it is, the one everyone gets nervous about. What is your biggest weakness? Ugh. But seriously, don't panic. Nobody is expecting you to be perfect. First off, never ever say, I have no weaknesses. That just sounds, well, fake. The best way to answer is to be honest about something real, but then show how you're working to get better. For example, saying you spend too much time on details, but you're learning to manage your time better. That's a great answer. What you're really showing here is something called self-awareness. And that just means you understand yourself, your good parts, and the parts you need to work on. It's a huge thing for employers. So why does this work so well? Because it's honest, but it's still professional. It shows that self-awareness we just talked about, and best of all, it shows you're focused on improving. That's a huge win. Okay, we're nearing the end. And how you finish the interview is just as important as how you start. We want to finish strong and make a great final impression. So the interviewer will almost always ask this: do you have any questions for us? And listen carefully. The answer is always yes. If you say no, it looks like you're not interested. This is your last chance to show them you really care about the job. And you don't need to come up with something super complicated. Here are a few great, simple questions you can ask. Things like asking about what makes someone successful in the job, or about the team, or about training. Asking these kinds of questions just proves that you're really thinking about the role and how you'd fit in. And just really quickly, let's talk about a few common mistakes to avoid. First, don't give one-sentence answers. Use professional language, so no yeah or kind of. And this is a big one. Never say anything bad about old teachers or bosses. And finally, remember to give examples. Always give examples. Okay, we have covered a lot. So what's the single most important thing to remember from all of this? Let's wrap it all up. And here it is. Please, please remember this. Your goal is not to have perfect English. Nobody expects that. What employers really want to see is your confidence, that you're prepared, that you're honest, and that you have a positive attitude. That is what truly makes a great impression. So there you have it. You've got the tools now. Just practice your answers, remember that simple formula, and you're gonna do great. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I can't wait to see you in the next class.